Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to my kitchen. Today is meal prep day, so I'm going to take you through what I'll be meal prepping for the next 3 or 4 days. I usually don't like to meal prep for the entire week just because I find that by day 3 or 4 of the meal prep sitting in the fridge, it tends to lose taste and just gets a little bit soggy. So I tend to meal prep 2 times a week. There's so many amazing things on the menu for today. So first of all, I'm going to be making a brown rice courgette pasta, and I'll make some salmon to go on the side. And then number 2 will be a prawn fried rice variation. Number 3 will be a chicken and carrot salad dish. And obviously I have to include some snacks and sweet treats. So I'll be preparing a strawberry sauce and homemade granola for my yogurt bowls. And also I'll be making a healthy version of a chocolate pear cake. I've been meal prepping now for at least 5 to 6 years, and it has transformed my life. I have such a busy schedule, and I'm able to make sure that I get enough protein in for the day. And I also just like knowing what goes into my food. So by cooking at home, I'm able to do that. I think the biggest misconception with meal prep is that it has to be plain, bland, and boring, which is just not true. I think people just think of plain chicken and rice when I say meal prep. And although that can be effective, of course, if you have certain goals, I think it's much more sustainable to prep the foods you actually enjoy eating while focusing on macronutrients and lower refined sugars, not including artificial ingredients, and so on. So I got my grocery order, so let's unpack that. First of all, I got some salmon fillets, then some chicken breast, cottage cheese. This isn't part of the meal prep, but it's just the breakfast I make every morning, usually a cottage cheese pancake. Again, not part of the meal prep, but just an easy grab and go snack. These Arla protein yogurts. I just got some pears for the cake and some limes. The rest of the ingredients I already have in my fridge. I think I'm going to start with the easy stuff, so the snacks. First of all, I'm going to make granola, so I'm going to use my leftover oats, shredded coconut, pecan nuts, and this omega mix I got at Holland & Barrett. It just has pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, I think flax seeds as well, so really, really good for fiber. I think homemade granola is one of the easiest things you can make, and you can use anything you have in your pantry. So to start, I've just grabbed my glass dish and I'm just putting some coconut oil in. This is the easiest way of doing it instead of getting another bowl dirty. And I'm also preheating my oven to 180 Celsius meanwhile. Then I'm adding oats, the omega seed mix, pecans, and the coconut pieces. I like adding a little bit of cinnamon as well. And I'm just massaging the coconut oil in. I'm going to add some sweetener later, which will be date syrup, but I find that it just burns easily. So I want to toast the granola first before adding that. Lay it out evenly like this. And it's ready to go in the oven. In the oven for about 15 minutes, but you want to mix it every 5 minutes or so. Next, I'm preparing the strawberry sauce, so I'm just going to wash these strawberries. And then I'm just going to cut the stems off, each one. Now I just leave them to start cooking. Don't forget about that granola. It's been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to add some sweetener, adding a little bit of this date syrup. Back in the oven for 5 minutes. Okay, strawberry sauce is looking good. I'll take it off the heat and let it cool. Granola is done. The strawberries have cooled down a little bit. Just stir in some raw honey for sweetness. Okay, now for the chocolate cake, we're starting with quinoa. Yes, I know I said quinoa, just trust me on this one. So I'm cooking up 85 grams of uncooked quinoa. Meanwhile, oven is still on and I'm getting started on the salmon. A little bit of olive oil, dried herbs, and that goes in the oven. I'm going to start soaking some dates for the chocolate cake. I'm also going to cut up 1 pear for the cake. Added the cooked quinoa into a blender. Also added 2 eggs, the dates that we were soaking, including the water, 55 grams of cocoa powder, a pinch of salt, a pinch of baking powder, and some vanilla bean powder, about 60 grams of coconut oil. It was a little bit thick, so I also added some rice milk. Now I'm just prepping my pan with melted coconut oil and adding the blended cake batter. Then just taking those pears from earlier and laying them into the cake. Into the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. I've got 5 carrots here. First I'm going to peel them. Now I'm just making them into ribbons. Added some fresh coriander. Also added edamame beans for extra protein. Some sesame seeds for texture. For the salad dressing, some sesame oil, light soy sauce, brown rice vinegar, a little bit of hot sauce, and some lime juice. And I'm just going to add some extra olive oil for good fats. Chicken was super easy, just fried in a pan with some seasoning and olive oil. Time to start prepping for the courgette pasta. So garlic, then thinly slice some courgette. I'm also adding some brown rice pasta to salted boiling water. You can do this in the same frying pan you did the chicken in. So I'm going to take some pine nuts and toast them. Medium-low heat with some olive oil. Make sure they don't burn. Those are good. Now put them in a separate bowl. Add a bit more olive oil. And we bring back our courgette. Fry until toasty, then add some garlic. Now adding some pasta water. And when that's cooked down, just add some more. You can see it's a lot softer. Just add the last bit of pasta water. Add a bit of butter and lemon juice. Cooked pasta, add back the pine nuts, and topped with some fresh basil. All done. I actually didn't even make the prawn fried rice because it turned out to be a lot of food as is anyway, so I think I'm going to save that for later in the week. So I forgot to show you, but I made extra quinoa when I was making the chocolate cake, so I'm going to serve that quinoa with the chicken breast and the carrot salad that I made. And then of course we have the snacks, so the pear chocolate cake will last me all week, and the granola and the strawberry sauce I'll just eat with some Greek yogurt. All that meal prep made me hungry, but luckily I have dinner ready. So I'm going to go have some of this courgette pasta and salmon. Should we do a taste test to finish the video? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you try some of these recipes out because all of them are absolutely stunning. Really, really delicious, packed with nutrients, full of protein, and really good for your hormones. Bon appetit, and see you next time.